Hey, good morning everyone. It's your boy, the Mad Scientist with the Early Look Prop Show. Last night went okay for a small slate. Most of our key targets hit except Cole Anthony's assist prop pushed at 5, and Giannis's fantasy point prop fell just short. Trae Young lived up to the villain role at MSG by going off for 57 fantasy points and 45 real points. He continued to silence the crowd even with the last second shot to end a quarter, so he definitely fed off of their negative energy. This was a core play for us for these exact reasons. And Jokic dominated the Clippers again and went for almost 70 fantasy points. This was a core play too, due to game theory that we discussed on the live prop show yesterday. And Bones Highland cleared his point prop, which was one of my favorite targets along with Jokic and Trae. The Bulls were a major letdown and they could not keep the game close, which is something we feared on a back-to-back and going against Giannis at home. Giannis had an overall great game, but his 9 turnovers cost him his fantasy point prop. However, he did crush the glass, which is something we predicted with Brook Lopez starting. LaVine was a late rule-in, and we did not get his 3-point prop, which is unfortunate since he made 4 threes. But DeRozan did clear his 3-point prop, and that is something we also targeted. At the end of the video, we will recap our favorite targets, so be sure to stick around. And we have a huge 11-game slate today with a lot of news attached to it. So we will focus on key spots. Let's get hunting. The Kings at Pacers game has a 5-point spread and a 236 implied total. This game has one of the highest implied totals on the slate. Both of these defenses have been primary targets for us, so we definitely need to dive deep into this matchup. Halliburton is questionable in this revenge game, and if he's out, then that's a big boost for Brogdon and Hield, who is also in a revenge spot. And if Halliburton is out, then we could consider both Brogdon and Hield's fantasy point props, but we could also look into Hield's assist prop and pair it with Brogdon's real point prop for positive correlation. We have seen Hield distribute the ball with Halliburton off the court, so this correlated pairing could be fruitful. But Hield could chuck it a lot in this revenge spot. On the Kings side, both Fox and Sabonis are out, and unfortunately we don't get Sabonis' revenge game back in Indy. But this means we get a boost in guys like Damian Jones and Metu and Harrison Barnes. In addition, Dante and Mitchell will command the floor as distributors and shot creators. Mitchell has flash upside with Fox being out, and I like his potential in this matchup. I think we could target his assist prop if it's less than 7, and his point prop if it's less than 20. We should also look for Harrison Barnes to fill the stat line with Sabonis out, so we are interested in his PRA. He also gets to the free throw line at a high rate, and the Pacers foul a lot, so we should see if they drop a free throw prop for him too. This game overall holds so much potential.
Hey guys, it's Danny. I'm just here to let you guys know about the free Discord that we did launch. The link for it is in the description down below. Jump in there and share your screenshots, talk about your favorite props on Prizepicks, and share your DFS lines, and we'll all talk about it.
The Hawks at Pistons has a 5-point spread with a 225 implied total. The Hawks just played last night, so there is a chance that Trae and or Bogdan sit today. The Hawks defense is another key target of ours, and Cade continues to make a push for Rookie of the Year. I really like his potential in this matchup, so we should watch out for his fantasy point or PRA props. His assist prop has been around 6, and he's been clearing that, so I assume it goes up to 7+ today. But I'm more interested in his scoring potential in this matchup, especially with assist hogs like Killian Hayes in the mix. Sadiq Bey's 3-point prop should be considered too, since the Hawks continue to struggle to defend the 3 ball against shooting guards. And Livers is out, and he accounts for a lot of 3-point attempts. On the Hawks side, we could go back to Capella's first half fantasy point prop in this prime matchup. He had a bad game last night, but this is a perfect bounce back spot for him today if he doesn't rest. But overall, it's a wait and see for the other guys until we get news on Trae and Bogdan. The Warriors at Heat has a 6-point spread with a 214 implied total. This is the lowest implied total on the slate as the Warriors played last night and the Heat have a lot of key questionable tags, including Hero, Butler, and Martin. If the Heat punt this game along with the Warriors, then we might want to avoid this one overall. But maybe we could consider Lowry's assist prop and Bam's fantasy point prop if both Butler and Hero are out. The Nets at Grizzlies has a 2-point spread with a 235 implied total. Here is our narrative of the day. It's Kyrie's birthday, and he gets to play after missing the last 3 games, so that'll make him even more hungry. However, like we discussed before, Memphis is a top-tier defense with Morant out, and they are 14-2 without him. With all that said, we could consider going under on KD's 27.5 point prop, since Kyrie will hog the usage, and this will be a tough matchup overall. But it's never fun taking unders on KD. I'm really torn on Kyrie. The narrative and hunger is there, and Seth Curry might be out. But I don't like targeting this Memphis defense without Morant. However, they can't sustain this defensive rating, and they are due for leakage and regression at some point. On the Memphis side, I like Tyus Jones' assist prop if it's around 6 or 7, since this will be a competitive matchup and force him to play big minutes. I like the idea of pairing this with Desmond Bane's point or fantasy point prop, as he will dominate the shot attempts with Morant out. I'm very curious to see how this matchup goes. The Suns at Timberwolves has a 1-point spread with a 236 implied total. This is the other highest implied total on the slate and should be another great game to watch. The Timberwolves have to be one of the biggest surprises of the season, and they continue to be efficient offensively and defensively. They remind me a lot of the Suns last year, where they rose from the ashes, as the Suns were 19-63 just 3 years ago, and now they are currently on pace to win 66 games, a feat only accomplished by 17 other teams. Coaches always say that good teams win games, but great teams close games, and that's the motto of this Suns team. They put teams away when they have the lead and they win the close games, just like what we saw against the Kings last game in overtime, and recently with Cam Johnson's last second game-winning 3 against the Knicks. This team is built to win. I can't wait to watch this game, and it should have a playoff-like atmosphere. With that said, I like Booker's 3-point prop in this fast-paced matchup, as he should get more shot opportunities. I also like Cameron Payne's assist prop if it stays around 7. Ayton is another target, as we just saw Dwight Powell have a monster game against the T-Wolves, and Ayton is an athletic big that can keep up with the pace. On the T-Wolves side, Cat's fantasy point prop is always in play. The Suns have struggled to defend the paint lately, so buckle up and enjoy this game. It should be a good one. The Rockets at Mavericks has a 9-point spread with a 226 implied total. This game will be a primary focus as well, since Luka is out, and we get the Rockets, who run the second fastest pace and have one of the worst defenses, and on top of that, they turn the ball over at the highest rate. Dinwiddie and Brunson will be the obvious plays with Luka out, but we have to see what the props are. I assume they're going to be really juiced. Dinwiddie has been a key part of the Mavs offense, so I will target his point and fantasy point props. Gunn has identified a key nugget with Dwight Powell against fast-paced teams, and this is a prime spot for him again. So we could go to his fantasy point or rebound props in this matchup. If I had to rank order the Mavs props so far, it would be Dinwiddie point or fantasy point, and then second would be Dwight Powell fantasy point or rebound, and then Brunson fantasy point, and then maybe on tertiary play would be Reggie Bullock 3-point made. The 76ers at Lakers has a 7-point spread with a 229 implied total. This game has a lot of star power, but it also has a lot of blowout potential. It will require LeBron to put up 40 to 50 real points to keep it close, but it's a great spot for Harden and Embiid. Lakers continue to struggle against bigs and point guards, especially when LeBron plays at the 5. I assume Dwight Howard starts at the 5 though. Embiid and Harden's point prop can be considered here, and Harden's assist prop is always in play. But again, this game has very high blowout risk. The Spurs at Blazers has a 7-point spread with a 233 implied total. This game also has blowout risk, especially with Josh Hart already ruled out, but it also holds a lot of potential if it can stay close. DeJounte is in an absolute smash spot here, and we can definitely target his fantasy point prop, as he should rack up steals and fill the stat line against this Blazers squad. Also, the Blazers are fouling at a really high rate lately, so we could definitely consider DeJounte or even Keldon Johnson's free throw props if they're available. I also like Pirtle's fantasy point or rebound prop in this matchup, but Zach Collins could eat into his value, especially since this is a revenge game for him and its potential blowout. The Blazers get a fast-paced matchup against a bad Spurs defense, so with Hart out, we could target Watford, who continues to fill the stat line and get stocks. The only problem with him is that he's prone to get in foul trouble. Eubanks is also in a revenge spot here, and bigs have found success against the Spurs squad, so we could consider his fantasy point prop too. But overall, our favorite target so far is DeJounte Murray for his fantasy point prop, hoping the game can stay close. If it does not stay close, then our other favorite target will be Dinwiddie for his point or fantasy point props. Today holds so much potential, and I'm excited for it. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this slate, so be sure to leave a comment below and we will definitely respond. And please hit that like button, it really helps and we always appreciate it. And subscribe if you're not part of the Run DFS team yet. It's so much fun prop hunting together as a cohesive unit. Also, catch our live prop show later today at 2 p.m. Eastern. We will get caught up on all the news and readjust to these updates. As always, best of luck. I hope you guys crush it. Take care, everyone.